luck, guys. Let's have a good first race of the season. And, of course, let's make it a good one.
Of glass in my veins, every step a jagged refrain, crawling through the static haze, burning skin against the blaze. Is it worth it to keep moving when the edge is calling me? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static. No turning back. Push past every scream, every scar. I find out who we really are. Fists clench against the grind, blood and sweat, it rewinds. Echo scream, can't ignore. Walls crumble, show me more. Will it end here or go deeper? What's the cost of breaking free? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static. No turning back. Push past every scream, every scar. I'll find out who we really are. I'll find out who we really are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Monday Night Mayhem. The boys of the Moonlight Racing League are live at Phoenix Raceway for the Fish Speed Break Your Heart 125. That's right. It's elimination time. Round of 12 tomorrow. It will be 8 drivers with 4 guys gonna get cut loose here tonight. One of them has already made it happen. No Colin Bollinger tonight, so only 3 drivers on that track are gonna be heartbroke here at the Fish Speed Heartbreaks. 125. Too wide in the booth, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, bringing you all the action. Playoff points on the board. Zach, couple of guys might be in a win-and-you're-in-only situation.
Yeah, I mean, with Bollinger not showing up last week, he was going to have to drive his way in. Not here today, so I think it doesn't really change too much for the guys on the outside looking in. Of course, you have Jay Stinson and Joseph Volpis tied for that last spot into the next round, and there are no tiebreakers here. Yeah, this ain't Canada, and this ain't BRL.
Nah, we don't kiss your sister down here, buddy. You got to get more points than the other guy if you want to score and advance. Below them, you can see Ryan Holla, Steve Lewis, both battling. Look at the stats. Louis, 2 top 10s, 1 top 5. Ryan Holla, 4 top 10s, 2 top 5s. Gonna need basically their best drive of the year if they want to advance. Volpis and Stinson, both those guys on 2 of the strongest teams, 2 of the 3 strongest teams that we have out here in the field. Volpis, one of them NMO guys. Jay Stinson running with Team Venom. And then above them, it's still not clear. Nate Lesko. Nate Lesko's still on the bubble as he is 6 above that cut line. Matt Novella, 9. Wyatt Mickelson, 12 above the cut. Tony Iverson, 16 above. And Buddy Sully, the highest point scorer without a win in the round of 12, 24 above the line. So lots to be determined here at Phoenix, getting ready to go wild. They are qualifying. Nate Lesko, one of our playoff drivers, currently sits 6 above the line. The Queen Creek, Arizona driver, gonna need a big run here today. Rookie of the year, regular season champion. Lots of pressure on the shoulders of that number 10.
Yeah, there really is, Mean Gene. This, this round of 12 has not gone Nate Lesko's way. 2 unlucky races and running that outside lane right now in qualifying. Not sure if this is his build-up for his hot lap. I'm assuming it is. There it is. This is going to be a massive, massive qualifying effort from Nate Lesko here, Mean Gene. We just saw in the DDIRL that qualifying was so important. Track position so important. Nate Lesko, as you can tell, currently sitting 14th, completely throwing away that first lap to give this second lap, the hot lap, everything he has. So far, it's looking good. He's about to cross that newly placed start finish. I shouldn't say newly anymore, but let's see how good this one is. Nate Lesko gonna shoot up to the pole. Nate Lesko on the pole.
Wow, 5th fastest in practice, but jumps up to the top of the leaderboard right now, hoping to hold on to that spot. Let's look. Last week's win at Kenner Redinger. This guy with that big win last week, pushing himself into the round of 8. First win of the year for Kenneth, but such a successful defending champion of the ARCA series. And here's his teammate, Justin Parham, Redinger, and Jay Stinson, all 3 making up that powerful Team Venom Motorsports racing unit. Waiting for the qualifying to wrap up, as that will be all of the guys that are going to take that run here today. 4 guys choosing not to qualify. And bada bing, bada boom, there it is. Congratulations, Nate Lesko, the regular season champion, is going to get that pole. Joining him on the front row, gonna be Grant Applegate. Applegate, with a win already, has pushed his way into that second round of 8. Second row, David Owens making a rare appearance. That number 8 gonna start in third. Eric Gambrell rocking that number 77. Grats to Hocevar for the big Talladega win as he rode the Dente. And then 5th tonight, gonna be Tony Iverson, joined by Kenneth Redinger on row number 3. Buddy Sully and Joe Volpis gonna be starting in 7th and 8th here tonight. Jay Stinson, round of 8, hopeful, starting in 9th. Matt Novella, guy having a great season as well. 9 above the cut line, needs a good light here this evening. Justin Parham starting in 11th. Ryan Holla needs a win or a lot of help, starting in the 12th position.
In 13th, we're going to have Zach Clausen. 14th, next to him will be Steve Louie. He is on the outside looking in, needs a big run here today. Wyatt Mickelson with one of his worst qualifying efforts of the season. Wyatt Mickelson going to need to move quick. He's going to be starting in 15th place. Lucas Alves doing double duty today. He just almost won the DDIRL race here in the ARCA series. Finished in 3rd place. Alves going to look to be 2 better here today, but he'll be starting in 16th. 17th place is going to belong to Jay Daggert with John Beverly starting 18th. And believe it or not, only a few more left. Jack Sanders over in 19th and Brandon Garand going to round out this field of only 20. I guess Phoenix intimidating quite a few of these drivers here today, but
they're scared.
Well, they are scared, but you know who isn't? You know who's never scared? Our boy Kevin.
Never scared.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Let's go, Kevin. And we are stoked. Oh, go ahead.
You know that movie they're coming out with, I heard that they really have an amazing antagonist that they're going to have to overcome in that. Don't want to reveal too much, but go check it out.
Yep, July 29th. Do not miss that in a theater near you. There's only a few things hotter than fire, Mean Gene, and one of them, Chuck and Larry's drama.
I tell you what, man, what a story of overcoming obstacles. Pace car is off of the track very quickly. We are about to take this thing live. Nate Lesko leading him around. Grant Applegate next to him, waiting to hit that restart zone, waiting for the flag man to give them the go-ahead. Dogleg is open. Cannot wait to see who ducks down, who stays above. Without 3 monitors, this thing can get wild very quickly. Green flag, away we go. Look at that. Look at Applegate. Quick jump on the outside. Dives down below, though, does Lesko. Bringing Owens with him. Great speed on the outside by Applegate. Going into turn number 1. Applegate riding that second lane. Almost to the wall, side by side. Lesko hugging the apron. Powering out, outside speed. Looks like Applegate advantage.
Side by side go Lesko and Applegate, but that outside lane will become more advantageous the longer they stay like that. Lesko got caught by surprise by Barney. The flagman was not ready for that green flag. But David Owens nearly running him over, and Grant Applegate getting a great jump to make this possible. He's got to stay on that quarter panel, Mean Gene.
Number 1 goes to Nate Lesko. Gonna pick up that much needed bonus point. Applegate behind him has him in sight. David Owens in 3rd, and then it gets a little bit sketchy back there. As look at Iverson, you can see the Menace Gambrel outside of him. Joe Vulpes in that 98. Kenneth Rediger, last week's winner, rounding out your top 7. He's in that red 42.
And we often go to the same track between the DDI ARCA series and then this Cup series, but this is one that they're going to drive very, very different, me and Jane. And the biggest thing I'm seeing, the ARCA cars were light out at 3 and 4, but nothing compared to what you're already seeing these drivers deal with early in this run. You saw Vulpes extremely loose through 3 and 4 that last time around. We'll see how he does this time with Redinger to his outside. Up front, Lesko has cleared Applegate, done what he has to do.
Nate Lesko doing what needs to be done. You know, last week he got caught up in some garbage that was not his causing, but hey, best way to avoid that, get in the front, stay in the front. Nobody around to wreck him right now. Nate Lesko has to like where he is, as he's going to still be our leader. Lap number 4 early here in the Fish Breaks Speed Break Your Heart 125 elimination race live on the Vortex Racing Network. Also, want to give a big shout out to some other sponsors here. KK Woodscapes, always donating those trophies. Thank you so much also to his merchandise endeavor, Sim and Destroy Racing Company. And thank you to the Racing Tyrants as well. All 4 sponsors, big part of today's race and season.
Yes, and the Racing Tyrants already trying to make an impression here. Tony Iverson misses 3 and 4 pretty substantially. Going to lose a lot of momentum there. Going to create a 3-wide situation potentially, but definitely loses at least 2 positions. He needs to stay calm here and not send it too deep into 1 and 2. Those tires likely heated up, but we're going to see a lot more of that, Mean Gene. And one thing we haven't even brought up yet is the election to use the dog leg or not. So far, these drivers seeming to be in a box, almost having to use it to maintain their track position to defend. But as this run goes on, you're going to have to pick and choose when you use that thing, and it doesn't get any easier.
Something going on with Tony Iverson, still fading backwards. You can see now He's got Parham, Novella. Look at Buddy Sully taking a peek around that outside. That 13 of Iverson. He's either saving tires or fuel or just contact. Novella and Sully into the infield wall. Sully sideways, hopefully nobody. Oh, and Beverly says, I got you.
We're going to stay green here, me and Gene. To my knowledge, none of those cars got turned around. Yeah, we are still under green flag conditions. Buddy Sully, one of our chase drivers, that is about as bad as it gets.
He's trying to accelerate that number 21. It got a little bit squirrely as he is trying to hold on to it. I'm pretty sure he's going to have to bring her down. That is not what he wanted to do. We talked about Sully, second in points, but no win. 24 points above that cut line. So let's see exactly what happens. Bringing it in to the pits, get a little inspection done on that car. John Beverly as well into the pits as those two did have contact.
Yeah, Beverly with some pretty substantial damage. Really didn't have anywhere to go. Got pinned up against that outside wall there with Buddy Sully, creating even more damage on Sully's car. Sully looked like he sped on entrance. Maybe didn't have the trust in his car to get it slowed down in a timely fashion. But no fast repairs anymore here on Mondays. No caution flag. Oh boy, Buddy Sully going to be maybe out of this race, but at least a handful of laps down. And what that also did is created a massive gap between our top two and the rest of the field.
Yeah, you can see exactly how this is working out. Huge gap to the rest of the field. These two doing battle. Lesko and Applegate, though, checkered history, as it seems like when one of them wins, the other one gets second, and there's always contact between these two drivers. Lots of respect, but how long can banging doors go on before eventually it's banging quarter panels? And this would be a terrible time for any of that to occur. Applegate not as concerned, but Lesko being so close to that cut line cannot take any chances. If Applegate gets to his rear quarter, I'm thinking Lesko has to let him go.
Yeah, I think so too, me and Gene. This is absolutely a grand scheme type of race where you need to be thinking the bigger picture. A second place is not as shiny and not as exciting as a first place, but in a situation like this, I think it's just as good. And one thing that I'm saying that's very interesting between these top two drivers, and I'll leave the camera on this, and hopefully we get that same look going to 3 and 4. But what I want you to do, me and Gene, when we go into 3 and 4, look at the front wheels of both Lesko and Applegate. You're going to see Applegate's turn a bright red, and you are not going to see Lesko's wheels do that, showing just how much different these two are driving this track. There it is.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that is knowing that dirty air can affect you, or trying to find the right line to save those tires on the longer run. Look at the gap now as Lesko seems to be getting just a little bit more of an edge. And you're right, looks like Lesko's investigating that second line, whereas Applegate is either up against the wall or down on the apron. Interesting to see the clashing styles. Both of these guys work with Jordan Fisher over at Fish Speed Brake, so I would assume we'd see some similar lines, but that is not the case here early on.
And yeah, we'll throw the Fish Speed Brakes logo up for a bit here. Big shout out to Jordan. All those track guides that we've been posting to last week, very much possible because of him. And man, watching him in that Watkins Glen one was so fascinating. That thumbnail we used, me and Gene, didn't know anyone could two-wheel out of the carousel, but I guess Jordan Fisher can, and that just goes to show how hard he sends it through those road courses. But here we are with another guy who is lights out in road courses and really anywhere we go, and that's Joseph Volpis, trying to hold off Kenneth Redinger right now for that third spot. Redinger has won in this round. Has it, right? He will be moving on to the round of 8.
Yep.
Yeah, so Redinger really just racing here for house money, but he is absolutely, I think, the awoken giant in these playoffs.
I'm over here trying to do some math and figure out exactly the situation for Buddy Sully. With so few drivers in today's race, he's looking at a slight point swing of maybe 18. I think he should be safe even with a last place finish here today, but we're going to keep trying to do math. If it starts smoking in the booth over here, that's just my brain.
That's what happens when you don't have Smoking Joe. Buddy Sully,
Joe, you devil.
20.
Yeah, he's
plus.
24 above
He should be
that
fine.
line.
It's going to be a matter of bonus points, things like that.
Yeah.
But it would take a miracle I think, for Buddy Sully to find himself out of these playoffs, especially with the smaller field, like you said, but not just the smaller field, Mean Gene, but who particularly didn't show up.
Well, if Stinson or, let's say Stinson or Vulpes, those are the two closest to the cut line, win.
Right.
Then that would
extremely
put
problematic.
Buddy 24 above them. So even if they took second and won the stage,
Ooh, the stage is going to be...
That would be enough.
That's where the problem could arise, would be the stage, and that might be where Vulpes and Stinson, tied going into this race, might make some sacrifices as Redinger gets in the wall pretty substantially at a 2 there. But that might be where you see some sacrifices made to get those stage points and put yourself in a different position. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about the fact that Buddy Sully is still parked in pit road and will likely be finishing where he is right now. But two guys who are not going to finish, I don't think, where they started, Mean Gene, are first of all, surprise, surprise, Wyatt Mickelson, our hardest charger so far. He is up 6 positions, up to the top 10 in 9th place, doing a wonderful job, looking to be one of our fastest long-run cars. Again, no surprise there. And then Lucas Alves just ran into a little bit of an incident, but he was actually in front of Mickelson before that happened. So Alves, with those extra 120 laps of DDRL ARCA experience right before this at this very racetrack, paying off right now, doing a wonderful job trying to reel in David Owens.
All right, so second place would get 35 points. Let's say they led the most laps. That's 36. Leading a lap is 37. No incidents is 38.
Okay.
Winning a stage is 43. Minus the 20 points Buddy Sully is going to get is 23. And Buddy's 24 ahead of Stinson and Vulpes.
And is the stage lap 62 today?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
3.
Yes.
This is the math that
63.
we don't do well.
63. End of
Okay.
63.
Okay.
So even if he gets last, Vulpes or Stinson win, and then the other one leads the most laps, wins the stage, leads a lap, has 0 incident points, that person would still come up 1 point short. So
Okay.
Buddy should be in even if he got 20th position today.
Okay, so that, and it's 19th right now, Mean Gene. He is technically in front of Bev, depending on if either one of those rejoin the racetrack. But yeah, you're talking about a worst case. So yeah, things looking, I'm sure, not as good or as comfortable as Sully would like them to, but that is why you have such a great regular season, and that is why you work so hard in those first 2 races, and he did do such a wonderful job in both of those.
Oh, look. Kevin just sent us something.
What does he want?
Oh, it's pretty.
Oh, Wyatt Mickelson hard into the turn 3 wall. I'm sorry, turn 2 wall. Mickelson with really substantial contact, so substantial that David Owens actually followed the commander a little bit off the cliff. His hit was not as big as Mickelson's was. That was a big hit. These next gens are tanks, and that was flush. We talk a lot about that angle. That was about as well as you can hit it, but even better is not to hit it at all.
All right, paying attention to some of the guys needing help out there. Steve Lewis, 15 below the cut line, currently finds himself in 13th position. Louis finding himself in a must-win. That's the 88, needing to do something different than what's going on right now. Ryan Holla, 11 points below the cut line, currently in 14th. Right behind Steve Lewis as well. Pressure will build after the stage at lap number 62. Right now, these guys just staying alive, making their way around the track. Only about 5-7 seconds behind the leader, so pretty good gap as it takes about 27-28 seconds to make it around. But these guys are going to need to turn up the heat if they're going to be in a position to get that win and advance to the next round. And then, of course, Stinson and Vulpes tied. One of them not going to make it here today. Right now, Vulpes is in 4th, Stinson in 6th. Stinson only 1.3 seconds back of the 98. So that will be the battle I think we're going to be staring at, is going to be between the 99 of Stinson and the 98 of Vulpes as far as who can advance. Unless, of course, Louis or Ryan Holla win here at Phoenix today.
And with how hard it looks to pass right now, you can't really put anything out of the realm of possibility. So difficult it is to find a run at this racetrack. It looks right now, I think a great example of it, it looks like Wyatt Mickelson is pretty considerably faster than Tony Iverson, but has not been able to find the run, not been able to find the right set of corners to get that pass done. It's just been hanging out behind him for the last handful of laps. But Wyatt Mickelson, you can see that damage on the front bumper, but it's not slowed him down yet. See how low those drivers are getting through 3 and 4, and they are, a few of them, if not most of the field, going higher in the dogleg than they were before, if not electing not to use it at all.
Well, the danger of the dog leg, of course, anybody who's run this track knows it's so easy to jerk the wheel and have that rear end come around when you're trying to set up to go into the dog leg. If you're not at the perfect angle, basically going straight down into it, then your car is going to bounce, so you're going to lose speed, and worst case scenario, it's going to wreck once you get down there on that gravel of that dog leg. So there's a lot that goes into setting up and completing the usage of it. And then you add in a possible dirty air scenario, which is where Mickelson finds himself, is following so closely to Iverson. And if he doesn't set this thing up well before he's coming across that start-finish line, very easy
You need to
for him to lose it.
You need to get through 3 and 4 below the car you're trying to pass to use that dog leg at this point in the run. I completely agree. And it looks like the angle that Mickelson is using is one that we saw a lot in the ARCA race, which is kind of wrapping the top, coming out with these big runs. There's one here. He's going to try to get to the bottom here. Not a big enough run, but what he needs to do through here is he needs to come out of this corner below Iverson, get in some clean air on that nose. Then he can duck it down the dog leg. But Iverson reading his mind right there and following him all the way down. Mickelson's going to have a chance here, though.
Let me ask you this. What's the viability? Oh, he's under him.
But that runoff by Iverson's going to be a lot better. If Mickelson can stay in that quarter panel, he may have something through 3 and 4, but it's going to be a matter of if he can it's so hard. We saw so much of that in the ARCA race, whether if it was me and Patrick Cowgill, Lucas Alves was experiencing that. We saw Joey the Rev experiencing that. The top lane, while it's not necessarily faster lap after lap, it is very defensive.
Now, let me ask you this. What is the viability of running high into 3 and 4 so that you can get an amazing run when you cut down low? Maybe that is something different. We see just how close the 51 can get when he's down on that apron, but he's not having any more exit speed. Why not take it high 3 and 4, cut down much harder, then you're already below him, and maybe that momentum will allow you to get to his door and then just kind of ride him up the wall and pinch him up against that outside wall. Just thoughts from the Peanut Gallery.
I think you're pretty spot on, Mean Gene, and here we go. As you see, Mickelson now is going to be the inside of Iverson, going to try to complete this pass, and we will talk this through as we're going to probably see a perfect example of it right here. And I completely agree with you, and it's actually something that you may have seen me try in the ARCA race if you watch that broadcast. And it's not necessarily the top lane as Mickelson completes the pass. Gorgeous pass by Mickelson up to 8th place. But it was essentially the line Tony was running if you weren't forced there and didn't want to be there. But it's one line up, because pay attention to this corner right here and on the exit. It gets, I think, 2 or 3 lanes higher on exit. So if you risk going too high, you're making the corner too long compared to how much you get to shortcut it on the bottom. But if you go a lane up, that runoff is substantial, and it could get you dirty air, or at least give you the ability to cut straight through that dirty air to where you're not trying to turn through it, get a big run through that dog leg, and then you can handle it through 1 and 2. But you're right, Mean Gene, and you got to be creative. When you're at these tracks right here where it's very, very difficult to pass, you have to be creative because these drivers know how to hold you off.
Well, Mickelson really showing how to get it done there, moves up into that 8th position, and just ahead of him is Justin Parham. Tony Iverson not going to go anywhere anytime soon, though. You see he's still in position with his teammate David Owens directly behind him. Little bit of a gap after the 10th place car of David Owens to go back to Lucas Alves, who, as you mentioned, did the double duty. Might have a little bit of fatigue going on behind the wheel of that number 15 Chevrolet. Lucas, though, moving up 5 spots. Has to be pretty happy with where he is currently. Let's see once that cycle comes of pit stops. Lap number 39, been green the whole way here at the Fish Speed Break Your Heart 125 elimination round. And there we go again. Mickelson trying to put the move on Parham.
Look at that, to the inside through 3 and 4. Going to use the dog leg, hopefully to his advantage. He's going to have to, I think, go for the slider here, Mean Gene. You don't want to have to hug the inside more than you want to, or more than you have to, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Cut some air off of that 19 of Parham, sail off in the sunset, damaged or not. Wyatt Mickelson with another phenomenal drive. One spot away from the top 5 at this point. And to go back to... where did he go? He just disappeared off my screen. Alves, wherever he went. There he is. Lucas Alves, who's currently in the 10th position. I believe there may be some cars pitting. Applegate looks to be pitting. So actually, I'll hold that thought. Grant Applegate going to pit here on lap 41.
Grant Applegate bringing it in. It looks like Eric Gambrell, the 77, now as well coming in. The pitting of Applegate. Let's go now. 6.75 seconds between him and the second place car, with Vulpes taking over that position. Kenneth Redinger in third, a little bit behind him, and then Jay Stinson on the page as well. Looks like Vulpes thinking about fuel, as he too is going to take it down into pit road.
One car behind Vulpes as well. I believe that may be Kenneth. Oh, it's Justin Parham following Vulpes into the pits. So these cars starting to rattle themselves into the pits. I think we're about to find out how threatened Nate Lesko is by Grant Applegate. So far, not very much, as he has already stayed out a handful of laps. He's going to pass the entrance again. Nate Lesko going to elect to stay up for another lap, as is Redinger. And we also have Stinson staying out still. And so far, this race all green, Mean Gene. It might be a tiny bit early to start thinking about the trends of the race. We can't be Larry Mack quite yet, but I do think you do need to plan accordingly, and I think that might be what Nate Lesko's doing right now, as Lucas Alves going to rejoin the track right around Lesko. If he wanted to pit this lap, I don't really think he can now.
Nope, Alves going to get it back up to speed. Lesko on the outside, though, will have difficulty getting down with Alves under him, and here we go. They finally fall into place. Now, the thing is, we're talking about when do you pit. This is a 125-lap race, so let's make the math easy. 42, 80, 84, 125. And that's where we are exactly right now. Now, one might think, well, hell, I'll just push this run. That way, my last run, I'll have fresher tires than everyone else. Great logic, but how much time are you losing on those older tires? Look at the best lap, 26.5. Last lap, 28.5. So almost a 2-second difference on those tires right now, Zach. How long are you willing to risk it, thinking you might have fresh tires later?
Yeah, and also what's really confounding me, I'm not fully understanding, is how early it's appearing that Applegate came in, Mean Gene. That was essentially maybe when the window opened for a 2-stopper, but you normally don't see the leader go an extra 5-6 laps after the second place car pits. Lesko's still not electing to pit, and like you said, there is a 2-second delta between fresh tires and what Nate Lesko is running right now, which means with this being lap 47 and 63, here comes Nate this time around, very close to taking away a pit stop if he can do that again, Mean Gene. So that might be why. But what he just did right there, I can almost guarantee you, he gave away the stage win.
I think so. We're going to see at least a 10-second lead.
Oh my gosh, David Owens.
Oh, David. I think we're going to see at least a 10-second lead for Applegate once Lesko comes back out, considering he ran 7 more laps. Now, if there is a caution late in the race, all of a sudden, you know, if he duplicates this, at least 7 flat fresher tires. If he duplicates it, 14 lap fresher tires. But that's a lot of speculation, considering there's only 18 cars still running in this race right now. Only fuel for Lesko just comes in for a touch-up. Applegate took 4.
8 seconds, maybe 2. Are you sure not 2?
It looked to me like he just took fuel.
We'll know quickly
you know
with
what?
the
I
lap
can do
times. You can do the whole.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewind it.
And while you do that, Gene, interestingly, that
just tires, just fuel.
Just fuel. Wow, interesting. That window is still open as Matt Novella has yet to pit, nor has Zach Clausen or Jack Sanders. So we are looking at this time around, Novella is going to stay on track here. 50 laps on one fuel tank. We are starting to flirt with a very different strategy here. It's not quite there yet. Novella looking very off the pace. You'd think that thing's got to be close to out of fuel, close to the bottom of the track. This got to be the time, right?
Here he goes.
There
He is finally going to bring it down. You can see perhaps Clausen now. Next car that would be up. Clausen last week took that third place finish. Big congratulations to Farmer, as that was his first top 10 and first top 5 in 2 seasons of MRL racing. So third place for him last week. Had to be thrilled. Farmer really pressing it. His lap speed is off. Don't know if he's flirting with running out of fuel, but leads a lap and now going to come back down that 43. Once this thing cycles out, Grant Applegate will be taking over as the leader, and Applegate right now threatening to put Rodney Holler a lap down.
Looks like he's going to, but I think really interesting, Mean Gene, not only did Lesko, at the very most took 2, but definitely probably only took nothing based on what we're seeing. He didn't even keep the lead by doing that. That wasn't even worth it to do, as Lesko now gets passed by Vulpes, gets his doors blown out by Vulpes, if we're being honest. Nate Lesko is going to have to worry about blowing a tire here. I'm not sure if he was under the impression or forgot, runs in different leagues, that we'd get a yellow during the stage. We're not. There's no guaranteed yellow. I don't think those tires can make it another 50 laps.
I don't know.
Not the pace he was running.
No, we're going to find out. Might have not had the buttons clicked. Not really sure, but
Stupid
number
crew
10
chief.
gonna find himself in big trouble. What's he got?
Blaney's freaking crew.
Is Gundafson his crew chief?
Yeah. That guy's an idiot. He just sounds dumb. Sorry, all the millions of Chase Elliott's fans out there. They hate him. They hate him more than we do. What are we talking? I love Al. As a Kyle Larson fan, I love Alan Gustafson. Please give me free wins. I love it.
All right, so 2 drivers that we talked about being in desperation situations, both a lap down. You can see Holler and Steve Lewis directly behind Applegate. So they'd love to get their lap back the old-fashioned way, as they are on 7-lap fresher tires. So you would assume that they're going to eventually be a little quicker. But as you pointed out, Zach, it is so hard to pass here. Will Louis be patient enough to let Holler make the first move on Applegate? So many moving parts here with these 3 drivers that we're keeping an eye on. Joe Vulpes with that 11.58 second pit stop, the second place driver, you assume he just took 2. And there it is, Louis, no patience, gonna dive under the 41.
Applegate might be involuntarily 3 wide soon, and look who's behind them, Mean Gene. That's Buddy Sully with a very healthy looking 21. So Buddy Sully gonna maintain that 19th place running order, gonna make sure that Beverly cannot take that away from him. But on top of that, who knows what can happen? Still got quite a few laps left. He could still gain a few positions if stuff hits the fan, which it looks like it could any minute now, as Holler looks at the inside of our leader, Mean Gene, and to make matters worse for Applegate, Vulpes also has fresher tires. Those are 2-lap fresher, and he is closing in.
Yeah, but he only has the 2. He only took 2 on his pit stop. I think Vulpes will be slowing down a little bit as we go. Louis and Holler get their lap back. Congratulations. Their playoff hopes stay alive. And now Matt Novella will be the first car a lap down. But he is almost a half a track behind, quarter of a track behind your leader, Grant Applegate.
Novella mixing it up with
but
Joseph
he'd be
Vulpes
lucky
right
dog
now.
if something.
And he could
be lucky dog if something crazy happened.
There's a chance he can get his lap back the hard way. 10-lap fresher tires, then Grant Applegate. Next car in his windshield will be Buddy Sully and then his teammate of Grant Applegate. Man, if it was not for Grant Applegate, though, Mean Gene, this would be a historically bad day for the Racing Tyrants. Not only are they just had some bad luck with Sully, but Tony Iracing just showing uncharacteristic lack of speed, as is his old teammate, I think still current teammate, of David Owens, currently running in 8th and 9th, straight up.
Yeah, Tony Iverson did win this race last year. He had this thing circled on his calendar, wanting a big run. Unfortunately for him, finds himself back in 8th place. So as far as playoff advancement goes, if you are Iverson, you have to be very happy. I think, and that's the situation for a few of these drivers. If you're looking at a Buddy Sully, an Iverson, a Wyatt Mickelson, even a Matt Novella, it's mostly a survive situation. The other guys, Lesko, Volpus, Stinson, one of those three guys not going to advance. So Lesko got a 6-point gap over the other two, but again, Volpus tied with Stinson. Now Stinson having a little bit rougher of a day, back in 10th place, needs to find a way to move up spots here on the track. Volpus in second, has to feel secure. Nate Lesko going to lose another position as the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson makes his way around. Here comes Gambrell, going to push him back even further. Redinger now pressuring the 10 of Lesko. So Nate clearly off the pace. Might have to take an unscheduled pit stop.
There are 2 to go in the stage, Mean Gene. This is the worst time for this to be happening to Nate Lesko. He's not Grant Applegate. He's not the one in the bad point situation, or Applegate's not. It is Lesko. He was the one who couldn't afford this. He was the one who needed to be thinking about stage points. And now he's getting 0 in a race that he is going to likely lead a lot of laps in, maybe the most even. That will be a bonus point, but this is a worst case scenario. In my opinion, the only thing I can fully understand is forgetting to check something, a crew chief smoking something that we are not familiar with, to why you did not put tires on that car, because now we have 1 to go in the stage. Grant Applegate, while he is being still, Mean Gene, significantly reeled in by Joseph Volpus, is going to take home this stage.
Yeah, Grant Applegate, here we go. It's about to come to the start-finish line. He is going to get the 5 points. Behind him, looks like Volpus
is here.
Volpus
too.
is going to pick up the 4. Here comes Parham. He'll get the 3, not a playoff driver. Mickelson going to get the 2. And then Redinger getting 1. But remember, Redinger has already advanced. So Volpus getting the 4 really puts the pressure on Jay Stinson, as Stinson did not get any points and has also not led a lap. So Volpus, big stage points right there. Nate Lesko as well, not getting the stage points. Still has the 6-point lead over Stinson, still has the 2-point lead over Joe Volpus. Actually, it would be 3 and 7 because Lesko did lead laps. It would be 5 and 9 because Lesko took the pole.
Yeah, and then what could end up being a very, very big moment in this race just happened, Mean Gene, and that was Matt Novella getting his lap back the hard way against Grant Applegate. Matt Novella is going for some cute stuff here in these pits, or here in this strategy. Don't be surprised if we never see him in the pits again, and don't be surprised if we see him pit again with, 5 to go to take a splash of fuel, maybe hoping for a yellow at the right time. But Matt Novella has very much put himself in position to have a chance at winning this race if his cards fall the way they need to do. Going back to Nate Lesko one more time, one of our championship contenders, our regular season champion and rookie of the year, Mean Gene. This is not what I thought we'd be talking about right now here at Phoenix. If I'm Nate Lesko, the bed is not made yet. The bed is all sorts of disorganized and gross. Make it now. And well, you know what I do, Mean Gene? Pit now. Get 4 on it. You're the fastest car on the racetrack with 4 tires. Stop the bleeding now.
Yep. No good. You figure he came in 6 ahead based on the pole and leading a lap. He's 9 ahead of Stinson. He is 5 ahead of Volpus. Volpus currently running in 2nd place, which would mean with that 5 points, Lesko would need to finish 7th or better, and that's not where he is. So Volpus would actually pass Nate Lesko on points.
And Volpus may lead a lap here, Mean Gene. He is reeling in Applegate, and at the very least, he can go for longer. And you know what that means? If Applegate cuts it short again, Volpus is hanging out in 2nd place. He gets to lead a lap. That's a point. So now we can go ahead and take away a position. Now it's 6th. So Lesko, you got, the longer you stay out running these unbelievably off-pace laps, the longer it bleeds and bleeds, and the harder it's going to be to get on the lead lap again, to do what Matt Novella just did. You cannot take that away from you just in case we get a yellow.
He'd be 30 ahead of Stinson, but Stinson moves into 8. That's 29 points. So right now, Lesko is 1 point ahead of Jay Stinson.
And Stinson going to make some forward progress here as well. He's going to move into 8th place, making the inside move on Eric Gambrell. Stinson showing that sense of urgency right now, understanding the situation he's in. He has Tony Iverson running in 7th in front of him. Owens in 6th. Lesko is now pitting. Maybe he's watching the broadcast.
Well, there it is. Now Lesko up against, he is up against the wall now because this pit is going to throw him off. We'll need 55 laps on this last set of tires if there is no caution. I think it's possible based on what we saw. We saw Matt Novella run 50. We saw Brandon Guerin run 50. We saw Zach Clausen run 54.
So it's possible, Mean Gene. No, we did. We saw Clausen run 52. Where's Clausen? No, we did. No, you're right. You're right. 54. It's going to take some saving. This is technically, I think, going to end up being 54 for Lesko, not 55. So it's very possible. The hard thing's going to be keeping the pace, being as fast as he was before. Because Mean Gene, the way that cycled out, he is straight up in 10th place. And oh my God, he's still in the pits. Did he speed?
He might have sped. We're going to keep you updated on what's happening when Nate Lesko, but this is not going to help. Regular season champion now finds himself behind the 8 ball. What a crazy season. Colin Bollinger not going to advance out of the round of 12 based on attendance, and Nate Lesko now in serious danger
5 more
as
seconds.
that pit stop has suddenly gone up over 55 seconds.
He's sped, Mean Gene. Oh my God, if there ever was a chance to fix it, it's gone now.
Going to need a lot of help because there's only 13 cars on the lead lap. You can see Dargert, Sanders, Guerin all 1 lap down, and then Lesko going to come back out 2, maybe even 3 laps down once he gets back up to speed. Up front, Applegate, 2.76 second lead over Joe Vulpes. Last lap, these two guys ran right about the same pace, so no progress there from Vulpes, as I think we're finally starting to see the 2 tires of Vulpes equal out. It did get him a little bit of time.
It got him second place, very much so,
but now he's just playing catch-up. Behind them, Wyatt Mickelson on podium run right now in 3rd. And then here comes Nate Lesko trying to get around the 51 brand new tires. This guy's going to drive with a purpose. If I'm out there on the track, I just let him go.
Yeah, he is not going to be a happy boy right now. Leave him alone. Let him do his thing. I don't blame him. Nate Lesko's got to be screaming in that helmet right now. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong today, Mean Gene. Hopefully Lesko's able to recover. He's going to need cautions. He's going to need an unbelievable amount of luck. But one driver that we were just talking about who made his own luck today is Wyatt Mickelson. What a drive up to a podium position in front of Kenneth Redinger. All this straight up. If it wasn't for that poor qualifying effort, I think we're looking at a race-winning race car right now that would have something to put up for Applegate. But right now, like you said, very, very much equalizing. Actually, the pendulum has swung, if we're being honest, Mean Gene, up to 3 seconds now. That's about a second more than Vulpes had gotten it down to, if not more. But Vulpes now, I think what he was looking to do there, mission accomplished. We are comfortably in 2nd. We got 2nd place stage points. We're chilling. We have clear track besides the cellular killer. Nate Lesko in a horrible move right behind me. Just let him go, Joe. But Joe, that was a very well executed strategy move right there by the 98.
Yeah, he just needed to survive today. He was right on that line, needs to beat Stinson, and that's exactly the play that he made right there. That puts him firmly ahead of Jay Stinson if one of those two were going to be the guy that goes home. But now all eyes turn to the number 10 of Nate Lesko. Currently finds himself back in 17th position. 17th position gives you 20 plus the 2 for the pole, the 1 for leading a lap. That's 23 points.
It's not looking good.
Gonna be tough. Yeah.
He had that 6-point lead. First thing we got to do, the next car in front of Nate Lesko is the leader. Let's get that lap back. Let's hope for a caution. Let's hope that the caution does not come out when you're 2 laps down. Nate Lesko has got to get there's Grant Applegate right there in front of him. Get this one back, as Grant Applegate's starting to have some connection issues. That would change everything. But Lesko, this will be a big pass for Lesko here, Mean Gene. It won't get him. I mean, he can't think about the guys 1 lap down, but let's get 1 lap down like them, right? Let's take the wave around. If we get a caution, then we're 1 lap down. Maybe those guys take the wave around, then maybe they're lucky dog. It's not over. You just got to stay aggressive, stay calm, stay poised.
Yep, he's battling, but with his current position, Jay Stinson would just need 8th place to advance and eliminate Nate Lesko. Right now, Stinson finding himself in 6th, and he's got his Venom teammate Parham in 7th, right behind him, holding off cars. Now, there goes Tony Iverson battling.
They're battling
there with Stinson, so great fight there. And then behind him, that wild card 77 of Eric Gambrell. So lots of racing to still be done. This little group right here looking at 7th, 8th, and 9th battling. Stinson ahead of them hopes it stays behind him, because as things stand, Lesko a full lap behind Brandon Guerin for 16th. So that would mean Stinson just needs that 8th place finish. If he falls to 9th, if Gambrell can get by him, then all of a sudden he would find himself eliminated instead of Lesko. High stakes here in this elimination round.
And it is just so delicate right now. Jay Stinson, Justin Parham, our teammates, you got to know that Jay Stinson's telling him, maybe Stinson, or maybe Parham right now saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to race so hard. And you know Stinson's saying, no cautions. Please, please, no cautions. He knows the situation that Lesko is in. He knows his path to the round of 8. And not to mention, Mean Gene, if you want that MRL Monday Night Championship, that thing was a hell of a lot easier to win if you don't have to worry about that number 10.
Yeah, Nate Lesko, regular season champion here in season 6, rookie of the year, so many accolades going his way, but that tire fiasco, not taking the tires on that first pit stop suddenly threw him out of whack. Race staying green complicates it even further, no stage points, and then all of a sudden he finds himself back in 17th. Still putting up the fastest lap times, 27.34. That is a full 2 seconds ahead of Sanders and Guerin, who he's chasing down to try to get back into contention, at least to get 1 lap down. But with Dargert, Sanders, and Guerin all a lap down ahead of him, going to make it very difficult. And let's add a Matt Novella to the list, as suddenly Grant Applegate directly behind that 56 of Matt Novella. You can see Steve Lewis also in that picture. So 2 more drivers might be going a lap down to Applegate here very, very soon. Surprising, they got by Applegate so quickly earlier in this green flag run, as their tires are 7 laps fresher. Here we go. Applegate making the call as he's going to bring it into the pits. You can see Joe Volpis also making that call. Lucas Alves in the pits. Jay Dargert. Plenty of guys making this call early, as we see this is going to turn the lead over to Wyatt Mickelson. If Mickelson wants a shot at winning here today, he's either going to have to stay out late, pray for the caution, or bring it in now to match the moves of Volpis.
He's matching it, and I don't blame him. God, these guys are flirting with disaster on these entries, but it looks like it's going to work for Mickelson and Redinger, both of them coming in really fast. This should cycle through the way you'd think for Applegate and Volpis. They're keeping this thing simple. Applegate coming out of there in 14 seconds. Oh, and Volpis is right there. Volpis going for 2 tires again.
Ding, look at Joe doing things. Applegate took 4. Volpis with 2, gonna be very close there with the number 14, as you can see them inches away from each other. Up front, this thing's still green. David Owens with the lead over Jay Stinson. Stinson would love to get a point for leading a lap, but David Owens continues his march here on lap number 90. Both those cars came in on number 47. But at what point does Owens make the call? He and Lesko have no affiliation. And Stinson finally going to give it up. No lead lap here today for Jay Stinson. He's just going to need to beat Lesko on points.
Owens has the whole field a lap down right now, Mean Gene, and there ever couldn't be a caution. It would be right now, as David Owens right now at the whole field at the mercy of him. As here comes Grant Applegate here to get his lap back the hard way. Owens looks like he's gonna duck it in. Really, really nice entry from the 8 of Owens. Owens gonna finally bring it down with 35 to go. So obviously the last scheduled pit stop for these drivers, and Grant Applegate, all he had to worry about was holding out Volpus for that short amount of time on the exit of the pits there on those cold tires, because Volpus is going to be at a disadvantage from this point forward.
Yeah, Joe was playing games, needed to do something to close the gap and try to get ahead of Grant. Perhaps he could have held Grant off.
I loved it.
With the dirty air, but instead he's on that backside. Now he's going to have the older tires and not really what Joe wanted. But again, Volpus more in the position of just trying to beat Stinson and Lesko to move ahead, and I think the 98 has accomplished that.
Yeah, I think so as well. Applegate has had a phenomenal day, as has Volpus. He has really came out here with a mission and a plan, and it's worked out wonderfully, as has Mickelson. I doubt he planned on qualifying in 14th, but he has made up for that with a brilliant drive. He's currently in front of Tony Iverson. Iverson pitting 3 laps before him, Mean Gene, so that undercut in effect there. And the yellow's out. Redinger.
This is not what Stinson wanted to see. Right now, it looks like Ryan Holla would be the recipient.
If there's a wave around, which you'd think Stinson would not let it happen, but there's a wave around, Lesko gets in the lead lap.
Never.
Yeah, you'd have to think about the big picture here if you're Jay Stinson. Let's take a look at why we're under yellow here, me and Gene. Kenneth Redinger driving through.
I mean, we're only 7 laps into the tires.
Yeah, they're saying that.
There's no reason to do it at this point. The only driver, I don't know. What if you're Joe Volpus? Your strategy, 2 tires twice.
He's never put on lefts. Yeah, I can't believe that those tires are still holding up.
So maybe if you're Joe Volpus, you give up a lot of track position.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder what percentage of rubber is left on those left sides. You look at the other drivers, they all took 4 just 7 laps ago. Applegate took 4 on 87, Mickelson on 88, Iverson on 85. How about David Owens? He took 4 on 91.
Oh, you know, Owens.
Suddenly,
me and Gene.
He's going to be ready to get shot out of a cannon.
Look at this wreck here with Redinger that just brought this caution, and look at who the first person who arrived in the scene was. Probably thinking, you couldn't have done this 1 lap earlier? Look at this. You couldn't have done this 1 lap earlier, says David Owens, who would have been in the lead if that had happened just 1 lap earlier.
Nobody else going to make contact, so we are very fortunate there that we're not going to lose anybody. Meanwhile, you're wondering who might have gone in the pits. Lucas Alves, Justin Parham, Jack Sanders, Nate Lesko does visit the pits. No wave around opportunity, so why not come on down and get that other set of tires with that 14.95 second pit stop? I believe that's exactly.
Make sure you get the lucky dog. Make sure it'll be faster.
Now, Holla was that lucky dog, zips himself around. Still waiting to see what's happening with Parham. Will he get out before the pace car comes around? It's going to be very close. Get rolling, Justin.
Parham going to have to be careful here. It's a long, long pit road, so Parham going to try to use every second he has available to himself, and there he is exiting, so he will be good. Will Parham.
Looks like Novella's rolling. Guerin staying in the pit, as is Jay Dargert. So those guys are not going to be happy with the results of this. 12 cars on the lead lap, and then Lewis and Nate Lesko both going to be 1 lap down.
It's a 1-car race for Nate Lesko.
Yep. That battle will be intense between Lewis and Lesko.
Cautions breed cautions, especially here at Phoenix. We saw it in the DDRL, a long green flag run to start that race, and then caution after caution, Mean Gene. So do not be surprised if that's not our only caution.
Pace car is out of the way, going around this long wait, it's only a 1 mile
They're on
track.
their own. We're trusting them.
That pace car gets out of the way quite early, and then you're waiting for that restart zone. Here we go, slowly rolling into it. Waiting. Away we go. Grant Applegate shot like a cannon. Vulpes on the bottom tries to give chase. Iverson is the second car on the outside. Wyatt Mickelson, look how low he goes. He wants to take it below Vulpes.
He's got 4 tires.
Great momentum, staying on that second lane. Remember, Vulpes with the 2 tires back on lap 87. And really, those left sides are from lap number 1.
Lesko on the outside of Steve Lewis for the Lucky Dog, and he gets the pass completed. Lesko 1 caution away from being on the lead lap, but these drivers do not want that. All they want is the lead. Joseph Vulpes, I thought he'd be more at risk on this green flag here on this restart on those 2 tires, but doing a great job hanging tough so far.
Battle up front. Applegate still with control, pulling away from Vulpes and Mickelson. Mickelson with the 4 tires. Would love to improve his position, still looking for his first win of his rookie season. David Owens, oh, look at Iverson go up high, loss of control. That's the second time we've seen that happen to Iverson early in a run. He was so good at Phoenix last year. This year, not the Undertaker's day, as we see Iverson fall back to 7th.
Mickelson starting to reel in Joseph Vulpes, putting in better laps. His lines are tighter with those fresh 4 tires, or I should say fresher. Here he goes, able to wrap the bottom up. Vulpes is forced to go up top. Vulpes going to use all of the dog leg, cut that nose off, and Grant Applegate's going to want this to last for as long as he possibly can have it, as Wyatt Mickelson is absolutely the sleeping giant in this race. And the last thing that Applegate wants to see is that driver in second place. Behind them, you're starting to see it get a little more single file. Nate Lesko might potentially be thinking about getting his lap back the hard way. One thing he has to be careful about, me and Gene, he is in lucky dog position. If there is a caution, he could not be involved in it in any way, shape, or form.
And the other thing he needs to do is math, because with his current position of 13th plus the pole and the lead lap point, he is Stinson would need 4th place to eliminate him.
And that is not looking likely right now, as Stinson currently really mired in that 8th place battle. Mickelson all over Vulpes, and then, surprise, surprise, late muscle being shown by David Owens, using that strategy to get that track position and having the speed to maintain it. This is, I think, where Mickelson's going to want to be, stay in that quarter panel, use it outside lane, carry the momentum, and I think he'll have second place.
Yep, he is battling hard. Looking now, contact with Vulpes. That was not good. You got to wonder about Owens. The front end there. And David Owens says, ooh, if
don't mind
gap,
if I do.
I fill.
Mm-hmm. Owens going to take that 3rd place. Owens on a very big tire advantage against all these drivers, including Grant Applegate. Owens running it long at a 4-lap advantage here. And when you take away all the leads, that is significant. You can just see how well that number 8 car can run that inside. Absolutely just slot cars it. And he's going to come out side by side with Vulpes.
Yep, and he's going to dive down. I think he's got the better tires. Vulpes still battling back. Look at that. Not going to give it up easy, forcing Owens back down below, deep below that dog leg. Gets the run. Look at the room and respect Owens gives to Vulpes. Vulpes up high. Mickelson now creeping into the picture. There's the 77, as well of Gambrel coming in. But this battle you're looking at, great shot right there from the inside. You can see just how much better Mickelson can hold that apron than Vulpes ahead of him. And Owens on the freshest tires. He's got the freedom to do whatever he chooses.
Yeah, I think if you're Grant Applegate, you got to be worried about David Owens at this point. He has nothing but clear air in you through the lead and much fresher tires. Applegate pitting on lap 87, Owens on 91, both of them taking 4. And now to the inside, it's going to look Wyatt Mickelson. This may be the one, but Vulpes holding him off from Owens. That is going to really hurt Wyatt Mickelson's chances to win this race. Behind them, you do see Lesko behind Gambrel, but he's going to need that caution sooner rather than later if he's going to get it at all.
Yeah, but he is in a great shot. You can see Stinson. Now, Jay Stinson did lap pit on lap number 90 as well. So he's got the tire advantage of 5 or 2 or 3 on most of these guys. So Stinson really hoping that those tires are going to come into effect. He battled with Iverson. Iverson held him off. pushing Stinson back again. That might be the battle that puts Stinson behind the 8 ball if this thing runs out the way that we currently see. Yeah, Lesko is back in 13th place, but those plus his stage or his lap lead and pole will be enough to put him ahead of Jay Stinson.
And then right here, David Owens reeling in Grant Applegate for the lead. Owens looking for a trophy here as a faster race car with those tires and has figured this thing out after 100 laps time. Owens showing a lot more speed regardless of anything than he was about in the early stages of this race. We'll see if he's able to get even closer and make a move. Volpus trying to hold on them best they can to that 4th place. Redinger, while he did bring out that caution, didn't hit the wall too bad to where it affected that 42 too badly and didn't lose that much track position, still sitting in the top 5.
And here we go. David Owens reeling in Grant Applegate. 10th of a second faster was the number 8 as he closes the gap. Oh no, the 42 pushing hard and again touches. Oh, and more contact directly in front of him as you see Stinson tap.
Yeah, getting everyone all out of sorts there. Redinger getting back into the wall, having a hard time navigating his place or his way around here. Up front, you still see Owens just stalking that 14 Red Bull car of Grant Applegate, now starting to use that outside to generate those runs. That's what I like to see, me and Gene. That's how I think you're going to get this done. And not too far behind now, clear of 3rd place, is Wyatt Mickelson. So these guys, when they get side by side, they're going to have to figure it out quickly.
15 laps to go once we cross the start-finish line. David Owens coming out of nowhere wants a piece of a trophy right here at the Fish Speed Break Your Heart 125 elimination time.
Ooh.
Owens into the wall. That's not going to help forward momentum.
Synchronized wall hits. Everyone following the commander off the clip there. You actually even saw Mickelson get a piece of the wall out of 2 there. And interestingly enough, Nate Lesko going to complete a pass on Joseph Volpus. That means 3 more cars until he has his lap back the hard way. And he can just bring out a caution however he wants to, and you won't have to worry about the lucky dog being Gene. But right now, Lesko doing what he needs to give himself a chance at this postseason. And right there, that mistake by Owens costing him a lot of time. He's going to have to group it back up. And on the top of your screen there, another big hit from the 42 Redinger.
Oh, and in the back of the field, look at this battle. Dargert battling with Steve Lewis. This is the 2nd and 3rd place cars that are 1 lap down. Very exciting there between a couple of guys that need to put on a good performance. Dargert finally going to make his way by, but boy, my heart was pounding for a minute there.
You see Buddy Sully there just hanging out as Sully may get Clausen. If Clausen does not come back out here before this race is over. Oh, he's out here. Never mind. So that would not be a spot available to Buddy Sully. Nearly was. Only 11 laps separating those two. Garen's still in the pits right now. We'll see how that works out. Right now, though, Applegate's starting to gap Owens a little bit, believe it or not, up 0.3 of a second over that last lap. And now behind them, Nate Lesko now going to start working on Wyatt Mickelson, going to continue to try to get that lap back. And there is Gambrel working on Volpus.
Yeah, Gambrel looks like he's going to make that pass, goes down low, but Volpus pushes that outside speed. And you can see also Jay Stinson directly behind them. Mm-hmm. Jay Stinson says, guys, I need 4th. I need 4th.
Stinson has a lot of work to do here, and this is his opportunity. This would get him all the way up to 4th. And Volpus in the wall.
And we're going to have to do math. We're going to have to worry about incident points, all kinds of foolishness to figure out who is going to advance. Again, with Lesko where he is, a 4th place finish by Jay Stinson would theoretically put him a point ahead, but then you got to do the math of how many incident points. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it can get real interesting if we even stay under green for the end of this race. It's just as crazy behind him with that Daggert and Steve Lewis battle. This one, though, for what could potentially end up being advancement into the round of 8, and it is all types of intense. This race by no means is over yet.
No, it is not. 9 laps to go here at Phoenix. Grant Applegate now pushing the lead up to a full half a second. Remember, Applegate did win that first race of the round of 12, getting his way into the round of 8. David Owens hunting trophies just behind him. And look at Lesko putting a move on Wyatt Mickelson. He says, you know what? I'm fast enough to run on that podium if it weren't for the tire fiasco. Firegate 2026.
Lesko running his own little race right here, making sure he has fun with it. He's up to what would be third place, 2 away from getting his lap back and not having to think about the lucky dog behind them. Stinson looking to the inside of Vulpes. This would be for 5th place, and that would be very interesting to where there's some points that we may be missing that could change it. Every spot so valuable for that 99 right now as he gets around Vulpes. Vulpes struggling pretty bad on those 2 tires.
Yeah, Joe Vulpes still fading back. Maybe should have taken him. Now, right ahead of him, Eric Gambrell, he took tires on 88. Stinson took them on 90, so little bit fresher tires. But with only 6 laps to go at the start-finish line, would that be enough for Stinson to get by Gambrell? Gambrell's a tough pass.
Yeah, he is. Always, no matter the track, Gambrell is a tough pass. And both Applegate and Owens just driving the absolute, out of their race cars right now. Both of them met with pretty big hits on the outside wall out of 4 there, giving it everything they have. You had Owens reeling in Applegate pretty well on that last lap, but that last second mistake did not help. He could have capitalized on that. Didn't happen. But man, these guys on the just absolute jagged edge right now, not a millimeter to spare.
I'm going to make it even more interesting for you. Nate Lesko is only 11 seconds behind Justin Parham for 12th place.
Wow.
And he's about a half a second faster a lap.
That is nearly enough time, and who knows if that will compound too. I'm sure it won't get any better. And if you have one caution, it will completely turn this race on its head. But now only 4 to go as Grant Applegate continues to hold that lead just over a half a second, and Nate Lesko starting to join the conversation with Owens.
It's closing up. Nate Lesko wants to get by Owens, trying to get it back the old-fashioned way. He's really chasing Justin Parham at this point. That 1 point could be vital, especially considering how close Jay Stinson is to Eric Campbell.
No way. Oh, my gosh.
Right now, basically, these guys are tied.
Yeah. This is unreal stuff right here, Mean Gene. No tiebreaker here in the MRL. Nate Lesko going to throw a monkey wrench in the system, get in between Applegate and Owens. That will likely be all a she wrote for Owens, unless Owens didn't like that. He's going to look to the inside here, actually.
I'm doing math.
Oh, you're doing some good math right now. As 2 to go. All Applegate needs to do is see that white flag. This race will be official. Nate Lesko will be the last thing he has to worry about, as that's the car in his mirror right now. Grant Applegate capitalizing where the mistakes were made, which is kind of an inverse of the story of Grant Applegate we've seen so often. But what a drive for that 14 today. He's going to take the white flag here, Mean Gene.
White flag coming up here. Applegate. Only car close to him is Nate Lesko, who's a lap down. Right now, though, Lesko would be in by 1 point, depending on the incidents. If we were to finish this way, David Owens now a second behind, but he does have about a 1 second lead over Wyatt Mickelson. Great Applegate has looked so good all day long, bringing it around. This is it.
Whoa.
Bada bing, bada boom. Grant Applegate wins 2 of the 3 races here in the round of 12. Congratulations, Grant Applegate. We knew you were going to the round of 8, but you're flexing while you do it. Last season's champion, last season's rookie of the year, and now first driver into the round of 8 here in season number 6.
Where did you have Nate Lesko running coming to the line? Was it 14th? Because Nate Lesko, Mean Gene, got his lap back at the end of the race. Grant Applegate pretty much pulled over for him. And Lesko, I think, may have gained a position from that. But I could be wrong, but he finishes 13th.
Oh, I think it's going to be fine. Hey, go look at Louis and the 41 after they pass the start-finish line.
No. Okay. Checkered flag. Hold on, give me a sec. Louis.
'Cause we didn't get any caution, so this was as close as we're gonna get.
Hey, we got one. But this will be good, I'm sure. Let's see if I can
Yeah,
find
it's
it.
gonna be good. It's good. It's good.
There we go. We have Louis. He's still looking pretty healthy, so we know it hasn't happened yet. I think that's a checkered flag for him. Oh, boy. There it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man, Gene.
Got him.
Gotta have one. Gotta have one.
Gotta have it, man.
What a win by Applegate, though, as he's going to celebrate here, burn it down in style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a win there by Grant Applegate. Got to be thrilled, as he is definitely gonna be one of the 8 playoff drivers. The Texas Instrument calculators going wild right now as MRL officials trying to determine who is going to advance here. And oh, is it up? Is it up? It is up.
Oh, wow. I will get that. Got your fantasy results on screen for you, too.
We didn't do the math.
Go figure.
I was not looking at the right guy.
What?
What?
I'll just pull it up so we don't just make our fans
Wow.
crazy.
Wow. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. So, of course, we knew Grant Applegate going to advance. What a great day for Wyatt Mickelson. Going to advance. Ooh. Don't post it yet. Don't post it yet.
I won't.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's finish off this broadcast before we go to the post-race show. And then we're going to tell you exactly who is going to go to the round of 8. Let's start off, though, with today's winner, Grant Applegate. 2 wins in the last 3 weeks. Last season's champion. Grant has to be on fire. Let's bring him in here. Grant Applegate, Mean Gene, Money, Zach Panzarella, you got your ears on, brother.
I sure do.
I'll tell you what, man, you've been up here 2 of the last 3 weeks. If it was a time to get hot, now is the time. Did you celebrate, host of our style? Did you give yourself a concussion?
I don't think I hit a wall, thankfully, so I did pretty good on that burnout. I didn't wreck the car at any point.
Man, I'll tell you though, this is the time to get hot. You did it last season, got hot at just the right time, and here we go. History repeating itself. Take me through tonight's race. I know at one point you asked Nate how he was doing, what had happened. Can you share anything about that?
I don't know. He never said anything, so no, I have no idea. I assume he got damaged trying to pit, or maybe like as he was the leader, like out by himself, he lost concentration maybe because he didn't have anybody to focus on anymore. I don't know. He never said anything. So yeah, that sucks that whatever happened to him, but I played strategy thinking I was racing him, and then I wasn't, and then I was on way older tires than everybody else, so that was fun for that second stint. Just basically babying the tires for 20 laps, which is not easy at this track. It is so tight on exit, and you have to just back the corner up so much. And then if you don't roll enough center speed, you can just never get it back. So yeah, it's a big momentum track, but also like you'll kill the right front if you're not paying attention.
Well, it got interesting there at the... Oh, I do have a little bit of audio from Nate Lesko. Yeah, that was him communicating with his crew chief.
Emotional damage.
So he didn't get the race today, but you know what, Grant? The story is you, my friend. You got to be thrilled. Any tension for you today? I mean, this seemed like your track. You were dialed in. The car seemed to be handling the way that you wanted. Just could you have drawn it up on a chalkboard any better?
No, these flat tracks are where I feel like I'm really good at just hitting a line and being super consistent. I feel like that's super important at these kind of tracks, and I feel like that's what my strength is when it comes to iRacing, is just my consistency. So it might not always light the lap times on fire, but they're usually within a tenth of one another. So you get to a track like this where like there's just so much room to go places, and like you think you have more room to move around than you really do. So like if you're the leader, there's kind of one lane. If dirty air becomes an effect, you can kind of move around a little bit, but that leader kind of has one lane that is the fastest. So yeah, just being able to hit that consistently when the track is so flat and wide, and like any little bit of overdriving the corner and you slide up, any bit of underdriving, like I said, you just lose all that momentum to the center and you can never get it back. So yeah, just tracks like Dover and New Hampshire and then here tonight, those are a lot of tracks like that where it seems like you have a whole bunch of room to move around, but the fastest line is the fastest line and you don't have as much room to move around as you think you do.
We really could see that tonight. Zach and I were commenting on how difficult it was really to get the pass. Only a couple of places where people could do it comfortably. And I think you're really revealing a lot to the viewers at home with that info about there is a fastest, there is a preferred line. Now, let's move ahead a little bit. You're going to have Auto Club Pocono Vegas next week. Vegas and Auto Club not really falling into the realm of those flat trackers. Do you got Pocono circled out of those three?
We're running 3 races next week?
I'm sorry. The round of 8.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a torture round. It's
a
really, really intense round. Me and
Hella
G paid a lot of money for
broadcast.
that one. Yep.
But I mean, honestly, I got Auto Club circled. The one thing I like more than these flat tracks is running the wall. So give me Auto Club where I can rip the wall in 3 and 4 better than everybody else and let me go, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, Pocono's gonna be Pocono, man. If you get to the lead, great. If you don't get to the lead, wait for the pit stop because you're not gonna pass anybody. But and then you said Vegas. Vegas will be a fun race. I feel like we should have a lot of people who are competitive there, and that'll be the fun race of the round. And then I think Auto Club will probably be the wreck fest because everybody thinks they can win, so everybody's going to try to win, and then everybody's going to die. So we'll see how that goes.
Ominous words.
You gotta love it. I'll tell you what, Grant, great race, man. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. This is how you go into the round of 8 right here. You won last season, and now it's playoff time, and once again, you are flexing going into that round of 8. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I mean, as always, I know we do it every week, but a shout out to Beverly, Vulpus, and all the other admins who put this show together. Yeah, it's just super fun place to race, and shout out to you guys for the broadcast. As always, enjoy going back and watching it back and hearing your commentary on how the race is going. But teammates, as always, fun to have people to talk to, and yeah, try not to drag this out too much like I always do.
What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, your winner here today, Grant Applegate, Season 5 champion, looking to go back to back. Grant, have a great night, man. Great race. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Dude,
Get to
that
meet
is
David
how you do it,
Owens.
Zach. That is how you do it.
That's how you do it as a defending champ. Grant Applegate, a rookie last year on the Nate Lesko shades last year, and he did make it as hard on himself last year as Nate is right now, Minchin. But Grant Applegate this year showing what he's learned, and yeah, he is just a dominant force right now in the Amarillo Monday Night Cup Series. Really doing a great job.
Yes, he is. And speaking of a dominant force,
Get
year
him.
after year, this guy, anytime he shows up, you know he's going to threaten. I thought he had a shot today. Grant finally had the tires wear down to the right ability to hold him off. David Owens, got your ears on, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Missed you, bud. How you doing, David Owens?
That's a loaded question.
It always is, right? Okay, we'll talk about just the race today. Great job today. That was an interesting one. I will say a little bit, I don't want to say like surprised. I mean, I'm sure there was something up your sleeve, but it looked like a lack of pace from the Racing Tyrants. I mean, you, Tony Iracing, kind of hang out in 8th, 9th place early on in this race. Brilliant strategy there to give yourself position in the race. Did you feel like you had a chance there against Grant? You had a little bit of a tire advantage. What were your thoughts as we went into that last run there?
Oh, I definitely had the chance. I know he wasn't going to make it easy. I know even though we're in teammates and in the chat together, he wasn't going to make it easy. And but he did, run the bottom. And I told him, hey, look, I'll take the top. You run the bottom, and I had him, and I just hit the gas just a little too soon, and just misjudged it and tapped the wall. And once I hit the wall, it was just over with from there. Just really burned up that right front.
Yeah, we were speculating it was potentially that hit that may have, I think, kind of equalized everything and given you a much harder ability to do that. But amazing recovery regardless. What changed for you halfway through this race? Was it did that 8 always have that speed in it? And that, as you can see, I can't imagine what was going through your head here, actually, as this on screen right now, the wreck that brought the yellow. 1 lap earlier, and you would have been the lead, wouldn't you have?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that must have felt awesome.
I had the fuel. I thought about staying out a little bit longer, but I didn't. But
you had the fuel for it?
I did. I pitted with 3 laps of fuel left.
Interesting. So actually curious, at pure curiosity here. So was it just the undercut was just that strong? We were seeing a 2-second delta almost between fresh tires and older tires. So I guess what was the incentive to stay out early or stay out later? I guess beyond hoping for that exact situation 1 lap earlier. And how much was that undercut kind of on the back of your mind?
The undercut was very, very strong, actually. And that's just what I was playing. And I knew I didn't have with how I played the first stint. That first run, I didn't shift at all for the first 30 laps. I was just trying to see what the tires were going to be like. So I waited about 30 laps and started shifting the last 15 or so and just went with it. And that caution comes out. It kind of just regroups us up. And I knew I had like a 3 or 4 lap tire difference. So I was like, I'll just make the most of it. I knew I had the speed in it. So I was like, let's go.
See, Mean Gene, it's never actual pace difference. He was not shifting, and he was still hanging out in the top 10. So that just makes me feel so inadequate. But yeah, that's what I'd expect with David Owens. That's actually incredibly impressive. Great run today, man. Always a pleasure getting to see you on Mondays. Past few weeks have been so much fun to watch you. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you out of here?
Shout out to just our team, Tony, Grant, Buddy, just being in there, and just having fun and hanging out. And shout out to all the ones that like to watch this broadcast for us, that supports the show and the channel, and you two up here in the booth and all the MRL admins.
Thank you so much, David. Hope to see you continue to be a regular occurrence here as we round this series. It's so much fun watching you on the track with these guys. So great job today.
Well, with some things changing in real life, I'm not leaving here anytime soon.
Woo! Yay! Hell yeah! Love to hear that.
So, Auto Club next week, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Auto
sir.
Club next week.
That's a David Owens track.
Oh, so I think we can go 3? I think I've won the last 2 there on Monday nights, maybe, or no?
I think so.
See if we can win them again.
Hell yeah, man! Can't wait. Thank you, David. I'm sure I'll be talking to you next week, man.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Good to have him back, David.
I follow David Owens on social media, and so this dude is like back in the gym, freaking looking at his diet. So all the time, yeah, man, exactly. And when you put that extra effort into yourself, you're going to get the results. And David, already the all-time MRL win leader, him getting better, it ought to scare the heck out of the rest of the field. I mean, yeah, is he going to win a championship this year? No. Can he take home a couple of trophies in the next 4 races? Yeah. And, we watched him do it in the truck series as he took 5 wins in like 8 starts, which was just in an insane run. And this is a guy that definitely could lay the foundation of I'll see y'all next year, because y'all must have forgot.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to keep an eye on what that number 8 does. And like he said, Auto Club, just one of his more
David Owens,
favorite.
To Mean Gene, he is starting to, it is. And he is starting to flirt with 100 MRL wins, which is obviously going to be the first to hit that milestone, but an insanely amazing milestone to hit, one that no one, I don't even think, is halfway to. Maybe Volpus is. But
yeah, maybe Joe.
Yeah, maybe Joe is. But David Owens is in a class of his own when it comes to being in victory lane. And there is, whether it be a championship or not, a lot to race for that 8 car. 100 wins in the MRL would be an unbelievable accomplishment.
I also run in a Sunday night series that I just got David and some of the Gulf Coast guys to join me. And I'm just waiting for David to strike over there and be like, "Oh, thanks for letting me in. Y'all messed up."
Shouldn't have done that.
It's gonna, yeah, y'all shouldn't have done that. They don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're gonna find out the hard way. All right, let's go to the guy that got the other podium
Let's
here
go.
today.
Plus 12.
And that is going to be Mr. Wyatt Mickelson. Wyatt Mickelson, you got your ears on, brother?
Heck yeah.
Hey, man, guess what has 2 thumbs and is going to the round of 8?
Me, hopefully.
That guy. Yes, sir. Congratulations, Wyatt. Boy, great run today also. You just kept creeping up. Terrible start. I think you were like 14th maybe to start this thing off. But continue to press and press and press. Do you consider this place your home track?
Oh yeah. Yep. I've been coming here since I was a little kid.
Yo, I've been going for like 6 years.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah.
Great track.
Yeah, I love this place, and it always feels good when I can run real good here. So.
Oh yeah.
I love racing here at nighttime. It's gorgeous track at night. So.
Completely agree.
Now, you were one of the few guys that we really watched that could use that apron to make that pass. Tony Iverson gave you hell that the beginning stage, that first green flag run. But as far as trying to find a way to pass, this was a very difficult track. Can you elaborate on the difficulties of passing here?
I call that apron line the Jordan Fish line because I saw him do that in the video, and I was like, you know what? They do that in real life, and it works. And on old tires, it'll work. On new tires, do not do it. You'll spin out, but or it's just really loose. But on old tires, it's awesome line to run. But yeah, is really. The dirty air was pretty bad tonight. Just like if you got really close to someone, that happened a couple times. I would just get tight, but I would just run high, and you guys probably saw it where I would just pretty much almost dive bomb just the outside, and just ride the brakes and just get real close to the wall, and just use every bit of that track and just get a really good run on exit because you could definitely get a good run too.
Yes, sir. When you
fun.
were behind Tony, I was begging for you to do exactly that. I was like, you're gonna have to go all the way to the wall and just dive bomb that sumbitch, and then maybe dive down. And sure enough, you got that run. And good respect though between the two of y'all. He was pinching you a few times, but it seemed like no contact was there. It was just some nice hard racing.
Yeah, I don't mind any pitching. Like, you can pinch me all you want. We got fenders for a reason. So, but yeah, I watched him do that on entry probably twice. I watched it the first time, and I was like, I think I picked something up, and then I was like, I'm gonna follow him one more time just to make sure I got that. And I followed him again, and I was like, okay, I think I know what I got to do. And,
Got your ass.
Yep, I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's see if it can work. And sure enough, it worked. So yeah, it was awesome. Every time I came down pit road, got a new set of tires, I looked at my relative, and I kept on just creeping up, and I was like, all right, we're sitting good. And then I smoked the wall coming out of 2 with like 14 to go, and my wheel was like 45 degrees, and I was like, man, we're gonna fall back. And I thought Nate Lesko was on the lead lap. I didn't even realize he was a lap down, and I was like, oh man, I was so close to third. And but yeah, it was just once I smoked the wall, I was able to still maintain pace.
Did you have damage from that first early hit? Pretty similar to that one, almost identical. It was the reason you did have a little bit of you had some like crushing on your front bumper, but we weren't sure if it was affecting you or not.
Yeah, whenever I went to pits, it didn't say any damage, so I was
perfect.
Like,
Cosmetic.
Not enough. It's just body damage. So
we'll
roll with it. That last one though, that did some damage to it. Yeah. So luckily there was only like 10 to go once that happened, and I was able to maintain pace. So.
Yeah, super exciting race. You mentioned Jordan Fisher. Now you weren't running with him at the very beginning of the season. At what point did you start working with Jordan? I'm curious.
I've been using Fish Speed for and I think he probably reached out to me when he first started it. It probably was like maybe a month old, and I've been using his like guides and stuff, but I just got like my first test session probably a month ago, and really like just hunkering down on testing with him and watching his videos. The videos that you guys are doing are awesome. I love those videos.
It's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
you know why I ask is because you and your teammate both Ryan, both went into the playoffs, and y'all were flirting right around that 10th, 9th place mark, on the season. And then you say about a month ago is when you really start working with the guy. You finished second in point accumulation in the round of 12.
Wow. Dang.
I believe that.
Like you were the number 2 driver that's going from the round of 12 into the round of 8. Now, of course, it's going to be, a reset of the chase, the chase.
Yep.
So we're going to see a reset of that, but still you got to feel good with what you've done. You keep knocking on the door of a win. I got to ask you, Auto Club, Pocono, Vegas, any of those 3 races more favorite for you than the others?
Pocono.
I have one at Vegas in another league, and got lucky on that one on a green white checker, but
I feel like you're going to be a killer at Pocono.
Pocono, it's a hit or miss. As long as I'll probably get some practice test sessions and try to get that one down, and I think if I just get the tunnel turn down, I'll be good, because for some reason that turn always messes me up.
It's the Brickyard. Remember that. It's the Brickyard.
Yep.
It's that turn.
Yeah, that's what a foolish track.
It really is.
Well, Wyatt, it's been fabulous, dude, to watch your progression. Rookie year. This has got to be the strongest rookie class that Zach that we've seen.
Oh, by far.
In 3.5 years of broadcasting. You figure you got you and Ryan that both came in freaking hot. Nate Lesko wins the regular season on points, and then you add other guys. Unfortunately, they weren't here tonight, but Brad Furrow had some great moments. You can see Jay Dargert. This guy's in and out every week, so really a great class to see that you're a part of, and to make it to the round of 8, dude. Just congratulations, wonderful effort this year. Anybody you want to give a shout out to this season after this race here, 3rd place finish?
Yeah, like to thank Fish Speed, you guys for putting on the broadcast, all the admins, Ryan for always helping me out, and I kind of coach him a little bit, and Jordan Fish and my fiance for letting me race.
Tell you what, man, both you guys should be super proud of what you've done. Your battle will continue, and I am not going to be surprised when we see your buddy or you hit the victory lane first. Is it a contest between the two of you? See which one's going to get there first?
Yeah, always. It's always
it better
competition.
It better be. You've had better results. You're into the round of 8, but that is also class driver with a lot of skill. Great team and great addition to Monday Night Mayhem. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 51, great number, Wyatt Mickelson. He takes 3rd and the second highest point accumulator in the round of 12. Have a great night, Wyatt. You earned it, brother.
Hell yeah, Wyatt. Thanks. See you in victory lane soon, my man.
Heck yeah. See you guys.
Oh, you can feel the excitement in his voice, dude. Like,
I love that guy.
This guy's ready for the round of 8. And working with Jordan, you got to think that he's going to have all of the pieces in the right place.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like every year, because there's so much talent in these leagues, we always end up having, I don't even want to say a sentimental favorite, because they're not even that, but just a natural favorite, a guy that we can just tell is just about to break through and about to be a superstar, and is such a clean driver, so easy to root for, has a great personality, and is everything you want in a league driver. We've seen guys like Matthew Fritz. I remember him and you and I were on a rookie year together. Just so much rooting for Fritz and being so proud of him as he worked his way through the playoffs. And now with a rookie like Wyatt Mickelson, someone who is carrying himself with so much grace and elegance, not to mention so hungry, getting trained by Jordan Fisher, and you're seeing it week in and week out. This guy was a problem speed-wise on day 1, and now he's being trained by Jordan Fisher. And that's why the last thing I said to him was, I'll see you in victory lane soon, buddy, because it's going to happen, Mean Gene. It's only a matter of time.
Yep. And he said also working with his teammate, Ryan. So that's going to matriculate straight down. So cannot wait to see. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap us for our regular season. Let's post those final results
Yeah, we're ready
one
for 'em?
more time before we take it over to the postseason show. No, not the playoffs. Just the race. Just
the race.
result.
The race. You are
Yeah,
really,
just the-
really making the way for it. There it is.
Yeah, we'll just do the race. There we go. There's our final results here today. Grant Applegate with the win. David Owen second. Wyatt Mickelson going to join him on the podium. The 77 of Eric Gambrill going to finish fourth. Chase Stinson looking for a win, trying to get ahead of Lesko. Going to finish in fifth. We'll show you the points in a minute. Tony Iverson sixth. Kenneth Redinger, last week's winner, going to finish seventh. Joe Volpus eighth. Lucas Alves, what a great finish for him. And the Colonel, season 2 champion Jack Sanders, going to bring it home with the top 10. Ryan Holla 11, Justin Parham 12, and getting back on the lead lap at the end, Nate Lesko.
The last
13.
possible second. Like he pulled over for him, Mean Gene.
Yeah, he was a buddy. Behind them, you can see a couple of guys. One lap down, that was Jarger. Matt Novella finishes a lap down. Big surprise there for the round of 12 playoff driver. And Steve Lewis, another round of 12 playoff driver, finishes one lap down. Zach Clausen did lead a lap, but ended up parking it. Hopefully he's okay. Brandon Guerin, 37 down. Buddy Sully was running at the end, finishes 41 down. Good thing he was 24 points ahead of the line coming in. And John Beverly, the commish, caught up early, made contact with Sully, and ends up 119 laps down here at the Fish Speed Break Your Heart 125. Thank you so much to our sponsors for sponsorship of the regular season, the postseason race that you just witnessed. Thank you, Jordan Fisher. Thank you to Kevin Kyle with KK Woodscapes, so providing trophies across the entire Vortex Racing Network umbrella and supplying trophies for the Vortex Racing Network full-length races, of which we got one in the works, boys and girls. Maybe coming to a soon appearance. Might be having another one coming very soon. Looking
Get me a condo.
perhaps at the 4th of July weekend, maybe Charlotte. Who knows? Leave a
one of those
message.
Charlotte
Send
condos.
Kyle, send Kevin and Kyle a message. Tell them you want the Patriot 600 live from Charlotte on the 4th of July weekend. Also, thank you, Kevin, for your other endeavor, the merchandise company, Sim and Destroy Racing Company, brought to you by racers who earn it every lap. Gentlemen never live.
Never.
And thank you as well to Tony Iverson and the Racing Tyrants for support of our postseason show, which we're going to go to right now. Postseason show brought to you by the Racing Tyrants. Rawr.
Look
And
at it
we
go.
have teased him enough. Think we should show it?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
This
No.
is it.
Look at me
No.
another hour. All right, we'll show it.
Nice.
3,
Come on, round of 8. Let's see
2,
what we got.
and 1.
Wow, there it is. Grant Applegate is going to be going. Wyatt Mickelson, second in points for the 12, going to be going. Kenneth Redinger, he won that second race of the round of 12. He's going. Tony Iverson, he's going. Buddy Sully holds on. He's going. Nate Lesko, he's going. Joe Volpus, he's going. Chase Stinson, he's going. And then heartbreak. Matt Novella. This one I did not see coming.
We didn't even talk about it.
Matt Novella ended up a lap down, just slowly creeping the wrong way.
It fell apart at the end, I think. I mean,
It
Gene, I think
did.
it fell apart at the end. Something went wrong. He was
Comes
not
up.
in 16th.
It was not in danger. And then he was.
Yeah, something went horribly wrong for Novella. And to add, just heartbreak to all this, Mean Gene, it's 2 points.
Yep.
That
Two.
sucks.
2 diddly points.
Ugh. Heartbreak.
But
for
as
the
you look
DA
at it-
driver.
You know what got him? 20 incidents.
No
5
freaking way.
5 penalty points.
So that. Oh my God,
But
Mean
Jay
Gene.
Stinson also had 5 penalty points. Oh, wait, that's Daytona.
That's it. Are you looking at? Did he have 20 today?
No, let's go to Phoenix.
Because Novella did finish a lap down when I didn't understand why he did. Maybe something going wrong at the
that
end of
was
the race.
Daytona.
Okay.
I messed up.
Well, you can go back to Daytona and point to that as well, if we're being honest.
Novella got 1 bonus point. whereas Stinson got 2 bonus points, but Stinson accumulated 31 points, 33 total, and Novella 23 total, so 10-point swing.
And then Novella last pitting on lap 20 or 93 for a 58-second pit stop, so definitely having some damage. And I think Novella may have been caught in that wreck with Redinger at some point at the end.
Was he speeding?
I don't know. When was the last caution? Was it lap 91? Yeah, it was. Okay, give me a second, Eugene. I'm gonna look at something really quick here, because when I went to let you guys all in on the inside how we make the sausage. When a caution comes out, we do have a crashes button, and I clicked it, and it went to Matt Novella. So let's look at, this is the moment of caution. I just want to make sure that nothing happened to Novella here. So I don't understand what could have possibly gone wrong for this driver as to why he ended up in 16th place, a lap down with little to no pace. But no, nothing, Mean Gene. I'm not seeing anything wrong with Novella. I don't get what happened with him. Something drastic. That driver was in a good situation when it comes to pitting, when it comes to the situation he was in. I don't know, Mean Gene.
I'll tell you what. Pull up season stats for just a second and cover for me. I'm going to jump into Discord channels.
Season stats I will pull up on our
top 10, top 5
our drivers. So we'll take a look at that real quick. Let's see that
for the 8. For the 8 that have gone in. If anybody who's standing out over here,
it does tell some interesting stories. I mean, you have Grant Applegate as the most consistent driver outside of Nate Lesko. The only driver with one more top 5 than Applegate was Lesko. But you also can see just how brutal that reset can be. When you reset points going into a new round in the playoffs, this happening in the first round, the round of 12, nearly enough to take Nate Lesko out of these playoffs, escaping them by only 1 point. If he was at 1 point, if he was at 87, 1 point below Stinson, he would not have gotten it done, tying there with Volpes, another driver who was able to win during the regular season and have numerous top 5s. Or I'm sorry, Volpes, actually, quite a few top 5s. But yeah, you're just seeing how brutal that can be. Even someone like Matt Novella, who was able to have a great season here today, he went, nearly went to victory lane. He won a stage, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s. Still not good enough to move on to the next round. Wyatt Mickelson, one that I think is becoming very interesting as we get closer and closer to the championship race. Mickelson really coming to his own lately. He has those top 10s that are up there with the same as Lesko and Applegate, the only one in double digits, along with those 2 championship contenders, one of them being a past champion, the other the regular season champion of this season. But Mickelson, those top 10s are starting to turn into top 5s. And then one guy that I don't think we're talking a ton about yet is got to be Tony Iracing. Iracing has had a quiet round of 12, one to forget if we're being honest, and even this entire season you could fall into that category. Luckily for Iracing, he did visit victory lane this season. That moved him on to the playoffs, guaranteed him in that. But only 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s. If you look at the drivers around him, that is among the bottom. Going to the round of 8, that is the worst. Tied with Kenneth Redinger. Redinger with far less starts, though. 4 less starts than Iverson. So that's going to be an interesting thing to follow, is if Iverson can find that speed that he had that has gotten him to so many championship opportunities. Iverson in the past week or a few weeks has really been struggling.
All right. What are we doing?
Oh, just going over, actually, just on the whole field. The only person left was Buddy Solly, who we really don't have much to go off on Buddy after today. Buddy has been kind of an anomaly this year. Hard to predict what's going to happen for him in the round of 8, but nonetheless, everything that could have gone wrong went on for him in the last race here in this cutoff race. But that's why you're so good in the first 2. Buddy Solly not even to really worry about that.
Yeah, other guys having to fight. In fact, we got a guest star here today.
Oh, let's do this.
Team Venom driver and round of 8 competitor Jay Stinson. Got your ears on, brother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are y'all?
Man, we are celebrating the top 8, of which you are one. Man, were you doing Matt that whole race? I mean, you're battling Lesko, you're battling Volpes, you're battling with Matt Novella. Like, I mean, how hard was that calculator going?
Buddy, I'll be honest with you. The only one that I thought I had a shot at was Volpus, and then he did such a great job of strategy and pit strategy. I was just like, I ain't gonna have enough points to get him. And then I'll be honest with you, somewhere near the end, we were calculating a little bit, and Parham told me, he said, well, what about Novell? Where are you at there? And I'm like, it's gonna be tight, it's gonna be close, I don't know. We crossed the line, I was able to get 5th, and a couple people passed Volpus. I was like, I don't think I have enough there. And then Novella finished, I think, 15th or something, did the math, and looked like I squeezed in by like 2 points. So it was it was a lot of calculations that I couldn't do on the fly. I was struggling, but I thought maybe if I got a good run, maybe I could get in. I was happy with the 5th no matter what, and it worked out.
I'll tell you what, it absolutely worked out. Very exciting finish. As you're right, you came in 2 points ahead of Novella, ended up being 1 point behind both Volpus and Lesko. So that battle there between 6, 7, 8, and 9 was about as tight as a frog's butthole. Novella was the surprise. What about Nate? When Nate didn't take those tires, and you just saw him fading, did you start thinking he was a possibility as well?
You know, in the calculations, I figured Lesko is such a great, talented driver. Like, I just felt like it was part of his strategy, so I never even put it in my mind that I was going to pass him, just to be honest. Didn't look at it that way. I figure he had some kind of strategy. He did fade back there at the end, which shocked me.
And then he sped in the pit road.
And I was like, all right. So it's still, my whole tracking was on Volpus because we were tied, and I was like, I'm a little bit back, and then it became Novella. Just maybe I could jump Novella with his 15th and maybe squeeze in that way. But no, I didn't really think of Lesko. I thought he had just enough points there to where I wouldn't be able to catch him, especially where he finished on the lead lap. I couldn't get in front of Gambrel. Got close a couple of times, thinking I might need that extra point to get in, but I just couldn't get around him. He's too fast.
Now, you did have an opportunity to lead at one point during a fuel cycle, but old David Owens, he just kept staying out, didn't he?
Yeah, David cost me points there. But, at the same time, I get where he's coming from. I was trying to pick – I had a lap in mind of when I wanted to pit, and I was hoping David, for the life of me, he'd go down just one earlier so I can just get a lap led and get a point that way. And it just didn't work out. It got to the lap I wanted to pit, and he stayed out, and I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go in, pit, get it handled, and we'll just see what happens later on.
For you guys at home,
I was hoping he would.
For you guys at home, this is all of the thoughts that are going into somebody's brain while you're trying to drive a car as fast as freaking possible. And especially with this dog leg setup, too. One little mistake can just throw you off. So, Jay, so many moving parts. And but the task number one, drive the car. And that is exactly what we saw out of you today. Such a pleasure to see out there. I thank you for coming and joining us on this Racing Tyrants post-race show. What about you, Zach? Any you want to pick this man's brain? You got a round of 8 driver right here.
No, I'm just happy for you, Jay. Great job today, man. Way to stay the course. We were nervous for you up in the booth. That we were doing a lot of math that we were not capable of doing. Clearly, me and Jane. But we were keeping tabs on you. I think you'll enjoy the broadcast. Great job, man.
I appreciate it, man. And always thank you guys for the broadcast. This will be a fun one to go back. You guys always do a great job. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing the live broadcast. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Anybody you want to say hi to out there?
Friends, family, my daughters let me do this, my wife, and my teammates, Kenneth and Justin, for always showing up and hanging out with me so we can race these. It's a lot of fun in there.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that is round of 8 playoff driver Jay Stinson. Can't wait to see you next week at the Auto Club. Go celebrate with your boys, man. Y'all earned it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Congrats, Jay.
Thanks, buddy.
That was nice. Got a little free interview with the guy we were talking about a lot.
Never hurts.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he's got in store next week as his teammates. Still 2 of them left. I mean, look at how this thing works. If you go back and look at the playoff picture, you got Stinson and Redinger, 2 Venom guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Volpus, who's a NMO driver, by himself.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Lesko.
tough go for Volpes.
Lesko, who runs with the Tyrants, Lesko, Sully, Iverson, 3 Tyrants. Ding, ding, ding. Really 4 if you count Applegate, because he's in that chat too.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 Tyrants, and then Wyatt Mickelson also solo. So him and Joe solo, 2 Venom, 4 Tyrants.
It's going to be real spicy.
Cannot wait to see how that exactly is going to unfold next week. Oh, you know how you find out how it unfolds next week, ladies and gentlemen? You got to subscribe to the Vortex Racing Network. That's right. As we are carrying races 5 nights a week. You just got done watching the old Monday night doubleheader, DDI ARCA and Monday Night Mayhem live from Phoenix. God, it's got to be about 4 o'clock in the morning here in the virtual world. That DDI race was also a night race. Yeah. But amazing stuff going on as regular season just wrapped up over there, yeah?
Yes, sir. Going into our chase.
Did you have to bring that trophy in here with you?
You couldn't fit in the broadcasting booth, even though this is such a big booth. It just could not fit Patrick Yalgo creating such amazing trophies. But yeah, back-to-back regular season champions. I will take it, Mean Gene. And yeah, winning at this track. This is also I'm a Cali boy, but we don't really have any tracks anymore unless you count San Diego or Sonoma, which I am in SoCal. So yeah, Phoenix is the track I've been going to for the past 5-7 years, long time. So very, very special to win here. Very happy I was able to do it today in the ARCA series. And yeah, stoked for the postseason over there. Going to a different set of tracks. That's when we start to separate ourselves a little bit in terms of the schedule from this series right here. But it's going to be a great set of tracks. I'm super excited.
Yeah, you know what? I think I might have to just send a little bit of money Wybara's way to get him a little better car to give you some playoff tribulation.
Not him.
Grats. All kidding aside, Zach, grats on that regular season.
Thank you, sir.
Great accomplishment going into that playoffs, ready to lock horns with the boys of the DDI ARCA series. Monday Night Mayhem, you just watched the round of 12 elimination race. The 8 drivers are set to do battle at Auto Club next week. You're going to want to see that. And then Big Truckin' Tuesday series. It's Championship Tuesday tomorrow night as we are going to watch the Final 4 lock horns and do battle from Texas. Cannot wait. Will it be the Sim and Destroy team? Will we see Nick Mills or Jaron Valley come out on top? Or will it be Gulf Coast Racing, Alex McWhorter, and Joe Volpes? The 4 drivers are set to do battle in Texas. Cannot wait. Join us live tomorrow, or rebroadcast, but live for you tomorrow night. Going to launch that thing at about 11 o'clock. Going to want to be a part of that. Wednesday night, the All-Star League, MRL DDI Moonlight Truck Series. And we are, bearing down, right?
We're getting closer and closer to the end of the regular season there as well. Going to be another exciting race. I think we're going to Milwaukee Mile this week, so that'll be a fun one. New configuration there, really bringing on new challenges for those drivers. And yeah, only a handful of races left until that series as well is in its postseason.
Yep. Quantum Contender Series Thursday night. We've been getting a bonus gift as Kyle Lynott has joined Kevin Kyle a couple of broadcasts there. So the Kyle show been bringing us that live Next Gen Cup Racing, that Quantum Contender Series. You're going to want to check that out on Thursdays and Sunday. Wrap it around to the Premier Cup Series as that playoff battle getting tight down there at the bottom. Just last week, you could see 5 guys separated by 4 points, and one of them ain't going to make it for sure. They will be at Texas next week. Only 2 races left in the regular season. Come check it out. And also, can Joe Volpes hold off a charging Evan Stewart over there for the regular season championship? Plenty to watch. Only way to do it, make sure you're on the Vortex Racing Network as we have an exciting week in store for you, the viewers, at home. If you like what you're seeing, and I know you do because you're still here, make sure you hit like on the button. Go ahead and share it with your friends and get them to subscribe as well. Zach, that is going to wrap us up from Phoenix. You just watched the Fish Speed Break Your Heart 125. Final thoughts as we head out the door.
Awesome race. I love this track, and that thing was full of drama. We always knew going into this round of 12, Mean Gene, that there was not enough room for the both of us when it came to all the drivers here, and that there were going to be a few that felt all types of wrong to not make the round of 8. Wish it wasn't because of a few of them not able to show up to these races, but that did not change anything in terms of just insane, shocking moments here, cutting out to the round of 8. I can't even begin to imagine what's going to be like cutting it down to only 4 and who's going to be eligible to win this championship. Cannot wait to round out this last 4 races of this season. I mean, somehow this just keeps getting better and better.
Well, if you look at the 8 guys that made it, who would you say shouldn't be there?
Exactly.
You can't. You simply can't. I mean, across the board, you can see multiple top 10s, what are you going to say? Oh, well, Tony only has 6
funny.
top 10s. He shouldn't be there. He's got 5 top 5s and a win.
And a win. Yep.
You know, what are you going to say? You're like, oh, Buddy Sully only has 6 top 10s. Well, he's got 4 top 5s and a win.
And put them the beat down on the road course.
So what are you going to say? He doesn't deserve to be there? But you also have to feel for the guys not going to the next round. Steve Lewis, great year. Ends up making a playoff run here at the end. Needed a little bit more, but you know the captain. He will be back next year ready to do battle again, and he's still live in multiple other league playoff situation. Colin, unfortunately, missing the last 2 weeks. Nothing you can do there, but again, season 4 champion, season 5 regular season champion. I hope everything's okay with the King of the North, as he did miss today. Ryan Holler, first year in the league, great runs. As you see, he did get the 2 top 5s. I think you can build on 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s moving forward. Matt Novella, we've seen this guy win multiple races, win a truck championship. So the number 56 not going anywhere. 8 guys that are in. Can't wait to see what they got for us next week at Auto Club. Want to give a big shout out to all our sponsors. Thank you, Jordan Fisher, season-long sponsor, Fish Speed Brakes. Again, Garage 61 partnering with them to bring you the ultimate in race tutorials and coaching. Get in that Discord with Fish Speed Brakes and check out them videos. Zach and Jordan doing such a great job putting together the driving videos. We are following the official schedule as well. So if you want a little bit of insight on how to run those officials, check out Vortex Racing Network YouTube. Head on over to our videos. Check out those evergreen videos, and you can see how to run those tracks real fast, next gen fixed setup. Thank you as well to Kevin Kyle for his KK Woodscape sponsorship, bringing the trophies to all the leagues, and also his Sim and Destroy racing company Endeavor merchandising, shirts, hats coming soon. Check them out. And thank you as well to Tony Iverson and the Racing Tyrants for their sponsorship of the postseason show. Thank you to the admins for all that they do to make this possible. And thank you to you true believers at home tuning in each and every week to watch and enjoy some of the finest iRacing action possible here on the MRL Monday Night Series. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, and my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, that is us signing off.